Here's what I want to do today. You're going to practice tomorrow. Everything we've done through this entire packet, some of it was easy, some of it was frustrating. Hate to break this to you now, but all of it could have been done on your calculator. All right? Yes, all of it could have been done on your calculator, so you can despise me more than you already do. That's fine, but I want to make sure you knew how to do it by hand. And also, I'm going to show you today because most of you will go to school next year, probably take a math course, and in May, 60% might be involved with some matrices. So I want to show you today how to do it all on your calculator, even including those days, the frustrating days of getting all these numbers to zeros and ones. Calculator can do it all for you. All right, so that's what I'm going to show you today. You're going to practice it tomorrow, and then Wednesday we're going to start our new unit. All right, so there's no test or quiz on this. All right. All right, so where can I do all this stuff from? So if you see right away parts A through D, you guys can do this by hand, no issue. All right, but I want to show you how your calculator can do it too. So the first thing is, how do I put a matrix into my calculator? So if you take a look at your calculator right now, everyone see the X to the -1 button right there? See that little word that's above it? Matrix. Okay, so I can go there, second matrix. If you ever want to design your own matrix, some of you guys probably don't have this because you haven't never used this before. If you want to design your own matrix, you have to go over to edit. Go over to edit. So let's go over to edit right now, and let's edit matrix A. So you hit enter, matrix A, and you got to tell it what size that you want. Okay, so you do have to know how to determine the size of it. And this first one here, matrix A, that's a what size? 2 by 2. So I go 2, enter 2, and look what pops up. A 2 by 2 for you to fill in on your own. So take matrix A right now, and let's fill it in. So -2, enter. Just make sure, the only thing I worry about, just make sure what's highlighted is the actual number that's supposed to go in there. 0 and 1. All right, so just make sure matrix A is all good. And we also do have to build another one, matrix B. So go back to second matrix again. And then some of you can see already there, hey, matrix A is a 2 by 2, which I just put in there. Go over to edit again. But now we're going to edit matrix B, choice 2, which is also a 2 by 2. And type the numbers you need in for matrix B. 8, 1, 5, 4. Let everyone catch up. Got matrix A and B built. Now where do I go to add them, subtract them, everything I need to do? Quit out of this. I need a blank screen. All right, quit out of this. So now you want to bring up, hey, I'm going to add matrix A and B together. So go back to second matrix for me. We want matrix A, right? So choice 1. Now you don't need to go to edit. Edit is only for build a new matrix. Stay right here. So I want matrix A plus, hit your plus button. Go back to matrix again. And now I need to add that to matrix B. And I'm so sorry, but there it is. Okay, there it is. So 6, 4, 5, 5. And now we could just go ahead and type it all in again, A minus B. So second matrix again, matrix A minus second matrix, matrix B. It'll do all the work for us and give us the new matrix. This stuff here I know probably would be quicker if we just did it by hand, but just want to show you it's doable. And then go ahead, -4. Go ahead, type in -4 for part C. And then multiply that times matrix A. You can put the multiplication symbol in between if you want. Enter, and there it is.
Positive 8.
Yeah, I got positive. Yeah, me too.
And then go ahead and type in 3A plus 2B. You can type it in just like that. All right, I want you to try it on your own now with this second one. Okay, and now you need a new matrix A. So you go back, second matrix. Second matrix, now edit. And you can just edit matrix 1 again, but now what's the size of this one in number 2? That's a 3x2. So 3 enter, 2 enter, and it'll come up with a 3x2 matrix for you. You just got to fill it in. All right, so go ahead. I'll walk around, look if there's any issues. Build matrix A and build matrix B again. And then just make sure before you do your calculations, you go to a blank screen. It's not going to work if you just go back to second matrix. So when you do A plus B, make sure you're on a blank screen.
How do you do it? How do you do it right now? Go.
Second matrix. Sure. You're gonna want to edit, and then you're gonna put in 3. Right here. Then you're gonna put in 1, enter 3, enter 2, enter 2, enter 5, enter 6, enter. And you're gonna go down. Now you're gonna go to edit and edit B. You're weirdo. And then you're gonna go do a blank screen. Blank screen. And then you're gonna do. I didn't even say anything. What's your shirt say? Don't worry about it. That's all I read. Oh, I read the one. Yeah. This is actually fun. Crazy. Good. The musical group. Did you write that? That's not appropriate. Oh my god. Who is writing all over these desks?
A lot of people in my English class could do
Jail.
I think it was Molly.
Mom's sitting there.
Molly's not here, so she's thinking that's like
I think it's September.
I got my mom to watch only murders in the building.
Watch what?
Only murders in the building.
Any issues here?
She does not.
Using your calculator for some basic stuff.
No.
Before I show you how we could have used it for some of the harder stuff. Because this stuff is not that bad even doing by hand. So.
It's very tangled. I can't brush it up. Ever? No, I can't. It just takes like 2 hours. Usually do right here and then right here. Really close up.
Just cut the split ends.
Oh, I have so many splits.
No, I told my hairdresser to put split ends. I just got like 4
Never
inches on it. I was like,
do that.
Because they're gonna be like, oh, this is split ends.
That's what I said. And my hair was like down to here.
All right, I'm going to move on here.
So, I feel like that's a lot.
Any issues with your calculator now? All right, you'll remember doing these with me, solving the equation using the matrices. All right, so for this first one, 2x plus a, I needed a matrix that would fill in for x up here. So 2 times this magic matrix plus a gives me matrix B. I had you guys solve these first. So what's your first step solving for x? What's your first move here to solve for x?
Minus a.
Get the a over. So we subtract a. And then we had 2x equals b minus a.
Yeah.
And then one more step. Okay, we talked about dividing by 2, but dividing's not possible with the matrix. So instead, yes, we can multiply by 2, but we end up multiplying by the reciprocal, which is 1/2. Now look, I'll admit that's good. You got to subtract and then you got to multiply. So that might become a pain, but now you know how your calculator can do it. So go ahead. Let's type in matrix A and matrix B. Go back to edit.
Second matrix. Go over to.
Now this problem that might have taken maybe 2-3 minutes takes about less than a minute now.
2 minutes.
What do I got here? A 2 by 2 again?
Yep.
All right, here we go. 1, -5, 0, 2. Just take a quick glance, make sure it's correct. And then we'll edit matrix B as well, which is already a 2 by 2. So I just need to put in the new numbers, -6, 5, 9, 1.
So it's just the last.
I get out of there now. Second quit. And now I'm looking to do 1/2 b minus a. The only thing I bring your attention to when you do it, what's got to come next here? You can't do 1/2 b minus a without the parentheses because you'd just be doing 1/2 b. And you got to do 1/2 of matrix B minus matrix A. And it'll do the work for you. All good? Okay, one on your own then for 4.
Or few.
What's your only move here to solve for x? Yeah, divide by -2. I get it, but we're not allowed to divide here. Multiply this whole thing over here by -1/2. The sign stays the same.
What was he?
And if for some reason your graphing calculator can't do fractions, just do -0.5 out in front.
Everyone's being weird.
So see if you can find the matrix 4a plus 3b multiplied by -1/2 here.
Oh my god, literally, I never got sick. I did all the time. Not once.
Is it supposed to rain?
I thought that's a lot. There's 50% chance of it raining.
Is that a fact?
I checked last night at like 3 a.m. because I was like, should I have my window open?
Dude, I will never leave my window open at night because birds always hit my window. Like full speed. And then they were all sitting on the ledge of my window. It's like I'm on the second floor. And then I went up to my car. Shit all over my car. Here after. In the scene that it hit my window.
Very weird. Do they die?
No. like they're fine. I don't know why they're hitting my window. It's because they're
Then
building.
keep it open and then they won't hit the window, they'll hit the screen.
And they'll bust through
Then
the
she'll have a new
screen.
friend. No, it's not. Sarah had a squirrel in her room.
Oh my god, it was so traumatic. I was watching her sleep. It's just sitting there. And all of a sudden it was in like the corner of my room.
That's so terrifying.
It was terrifying.
How did it get in your house?
My window. It was like actually.
You didn't see it crawl.
No, I was very invested.
And then she was like, it messed up my artwork. But like,
So
so
I had
to bring it.
I had a big Sharpie powder on the floor.
My cat fancy.
Yeah, that's absolutely terrifying because squirrels are vicious.
That was so freaking shit.
They're like
Okay, any issues before we get to probably what was most frustrating to do by hand? We're all set here? All right. I know this was a big deal when we did it, multiplying, because you had to do a row times a column, multiply them, add them together, and just put a single number down. Now it's not a big deal. I'm going to call this first one A and this second one B. You can't, I don't know if anybody remembers, what's the order of this one here? What's the size of this one? This is a 2x4 and a 2x2, right? So as it's written right now, you can't multiply it. Your calculator would tell you that right away. So let's do this instead. Can we just find BA instead? B times A? We could do that. All right. Type them in. Here we go. Now all that frustration, we'll just let the calculator handle it. So first one, matrix A. Just make sure we edit. And that's a, what do we say, 2x4? And then matrix B, 2x2. Shoot. 4, 2, 1, 3.
I was gonna say that.
Clear out when you're done making matrix A and B. Clear out and just do B times A for me now. So go back, pull up matrix B. You can put the multiplication symbol in between. It's not needed. Times A. And all that row times column business, there it is, done for you. Let me just check something
You
here.
don't have a calculator, so what?
Can you guys see? I tried to do A times B and it'll just tell you, hey, dimension mismatch. Not happening.
Bless you.
All right, so even if you couldn't figure out if you could multiply or not. What's up?
If that was a question, would we do it or not? Because you have to change that.
Written as that? No.
So you wouldn't do it?
No. Unless I said B times A. All right, and then the finale here. Our worst enemies. Ones and zeros, right?
We're like discussed year over.
Ones and zeros. Now it's not an issue, and I'll show you how your calculator does it in an instant. First thing, though, you do have to put in a little work here. You need to create two matrices here. Two. Matrix A, which is just the variables. Well, I should say the numbers out in front of the variables. That's going to be matrix A. So let's just create that together here. What's the first row going to look like? All ones. No vertical bar. We're just putting all the numbers with the variables. Row 2, 1, -1, -1. 1, -1, +1. There's matrix A. And what we're trying to do here is figure out a answer here to x, y, and z so that it equals what I'm going to have you guys call matrix B, which is, what are they all equal to? And this will just be 4, 0, 2. So that's what it looks like before we put it into our calculator here in a second. So why don't we do this? Everyone make matrix A and B for me right now. And then we'll figure how to solve this thing using the calculator. Just put A and B in right now. Make a matrix A and make a matrix B for me. And then we'll talk. So that first one is what, 3 by 3? Be careful when you're typing in, make sure the negative ones are actually negative ones.
Middle of nowhere. Annie was in it? Like Annie, the other musical?
How big's matrix B? How what would you put in for matrix B? 402. That's a 3 by 1. Yep.
Have you ever seen the puppet version of that? No. Where they're all on fire.
Wait, what?
All right, we got them in? So we can figure out how to get a solution from the calculator.
Now.
All right, if I had given you this, most of you are going to say, oh, you want to get x by itself, do what with the a? Well, it's a times x equals b. So how would I get the a over the other side to get x by itself? Usually I would divide by a. But we've talked over and over again, what's the one operation we can't do? Division. So dividing by a is not going to cut it. So we're going to do something similar, the same thing as dividing by a, which is taking the inverse of a. So this is going to be a to the -1, which is the same thing as dividing, flipping it, and then multiplying it by matrix B. You guys have this button on your calculator. Everyone see where it's to the -1? Okay, so bring up matrix A for me. Get a cleared screen right now. Bring up matrix A. Now raise it to the -1. We're taking the inverse of it. And now multiply it by matrix B and let the magic occur. There's your answers. Done. 2, 1, 1. X equals 2, Y equals 1, Z equals 1.
Yeah, we're killing the calculators over here.
And before we just practice 2 more here, a quick comment. Sure, some of you may take a math class where there's no matrices involved. But probably you're going to, in that math class, just like you did last year in Algebra 2A. Did you guys have to solve these? 3 equations, 3 variables? You can do it using matrices. Okay? You can do, instead of going, okay, let's pick 2, let's eliminate a variable. Let's pick another 2, eliminate a variable. Just make a matrix out of it and you're good. All right?
I don't get how inverse of the is.
Flip it like we do the reciprocal. Like you can't divide by 2, but you can multiply by 1/2. Right?
So
It's another way of saying take the inverse. Do the inverse. Reciprocal, yes. All right, you do have to do a little work sometimes. What's the issue with 7? You're not making any matrices yet.
You need to put in one side.
Variables got to be all on one side, numbers on the others. Let's go.
I was glitched.
I'm going to move the Z over on the top and keep the 1 where it is. I'll move over a Y, and again, it doesn't matter which direction you pick. Just make sure all the variables are on one side, single numbers on the other. Make your matrix A with all the numbers in front of the variables. Matrix B are your answers here, what you'd like them to be equal to. And again, remember the solution is taking the inverse of A and multiplying it by B. So I'll let you guys play around on your calculator right now.
Oh, these are all the same thing. No.
And now this problem that either A took you 5 to 10 minutes to do, or B you just gave up on, can be done pretty easily now with this knowledge of your calculator. And what do I got here? 1, 1, 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got that.
And then finally, let's face it, number 8, probably a large percent of us would even sniffed it. Just says you got to be kidding me, and we're moving. There's no way I'm getting zeros and ones out of 4 variables and 4 equations. I wouldn't blame you, but now it's going to take what, a minute or two now to do this, to find W, X, Y, and Z. All of them are all on the same side.
It's because they're in different orders. Oh no, it's in W, X, Y, Z. Okay.
Switch it up.
You don't have to worry about the variables. You're not typing in W, X, Y, Z in your calculator. You're just making a matrix out of the first one and a matrix out of the second one.
Doing it right.
So now 4 by 4 and a 4 by 1. Who cares if it's 1 0 0 0 0 0 1 0? Doesn't matter anymore.
You can't lie every time she misses class though. She's gonna catch up.
No, you won't. Next, you freaking out.
So someone cheated on the test. So we had to do it even harder. Oh wait, did we didn't even have a test. Okay, never mind. When do you guys have to have a quiz? Just how to start it.
I'm sorry.
It's not my fault that the batteries exploded in my calculator. They were just in there for so long. I didn't. And my mom was like, I'm not playing you no one to go by yourself.
Yeah.
I would still go.
Shut up. It
I
was
would-
very complicated.
I'm like built different, so if I were you, I would do it.
I'm gonna strangle you. It was a difficult
Whoa.
decision we had to make.
We were exciting words.
Why didn't you get your flu shot?
Why are you a bitch?
And we should have 1, 2, 3, -2. Just so you know how this goes, there is an assignment to this like usual. It's all on Delta Math. All you need is your calculator in front of you. You can start that now if you want, but I'm letting everybody know it's due at the end of class tomorrow. I'm not going to extend it to the end of the quarter or anything like that. This thing is due tomorrow, end of class. The Delta Math, that is part of the assignment tomorrow. Okay, that is due tomorrow. So whether you start it now or do it all tomorrow, it's a 0 if it's not done tomorrow.
Wait, are we working on it in class?
Yeah, I will, but for some reason we can't get it finished, so it's going to be a 0. Shai, thank you, sir.
You got it, buddy.
So your choice.
I don't have a calculator, so I'll just.
If you
broke
should, you should really.
I tried to put new batteries in it. It just like wrecked the whole.